Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Hey there, Tiff here. Yes, today's a new day. We're going to wake up and get on with it. I've got a great interview here with a very good friend of mine. We've got to know each other very well over the last 12 months, Caroline Ludwell. And Caroline has been going through this amazing transformation. It's been absolutely incredible, and it's been so wonderful to watch, especially in the last 12 months, of where she was at when I first met her to where she is now and what she's out there accomplishing. And it's really good to hear her story, because there's a lot of similarities that her and I that we've actually been through and making decisions at very similar ages, even though we're on totally different paths, making those decisions on what we thought we were like at 20 and 18, 19, 20 years of age, and our thought process of who we thought we were then to what's been happening now with her, especially the transformation that she's actually been going through in the last 12 months, and building that belief, because she didn't have any belief in herself, made some decisions that she wasn't good enough when she was the age of 18 and 19, and having to try and find her way from feeling lost and not sure where she wanted to go or what she wanted to do. And she was just falling into situations and jobs and so on that she thought that, oh, well, I guess that's what I've just got to do, because now I'm never going to accomplish my dream of what I wanted to accomplish, and my life is over. And, really your life has only just begun when you're sort of at the age of 18 and 19. You've got so much more ahead of you and so much more of a journey ahead of you, but you just don't realize it at the time until you sort of start to look back, and you've come to a point where you've had you've seen some transformation of yourself happen and some great things happen. And then you realize that, like, this is how I felt when I first started. And in my journey as an adult, and this is what my thought process was then. And look at where I've come to now, and I have hope. And things are going to work out the way that I'd like them to. So it's really raw interview, really real in the sense of you really get to know who Caroline is. A very loving, caring, beautiful person. She never thought herself as that way. She just thought she was never good enough. And you'll just see that beautiful personality come out in her. So I hope you really enjoy this interview with her, and we look forward to hearing what you really like best about what you heard in this interview, and we hope that this inspires you in moving forward and accomplishing what it is that you want to accomplish in your world. Okay, so don't go anywhere, because here comes the interview. Hi, Caroline. So lovely to have you here on the podcast show. We've been wanting to do this for quite some time now, and now we're finally being able to do it. So welcome. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great. So we met last year actually on a golf tour that so I work for a company called Golf and Tours, and we met through that tour. And we'll get to me giving you my book and where we headed with that and what you got from that. But just tell us a bit about yourself. Like, what are you currently doing, and what was your life like as a kid, and what were your dreams like as a kid when you were growing up?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's great to see you, and thanks so much for having me here. And I can't believe it's been a year since our paths crossed. A bit about me, I guess, I had a pretty Nice childhood. Mum, dad, my sister, and I, and we had some great adventures, and we still do, which is fantastic. Um, I guess went through the primary, secondary school, and then with secondary school, you've got to obviously start making some choices around what you want to do in the future. And in the background, I was doing a bit of horse riding and really enjoyed that. And I had this ambition to become a vet. Didn't really understand what that would entail, but Dad took me down to our local vet clinic. I think I was in year 8, and I volunteered. They brought me on board, and so I cleaned the cages and I'd mop up all the dog and cat vomit, or the vet clinic actually specialised in birds, so I might have a few bites on my hands from a few parrots and stuff like that. But I think the background to that was basically you've got to get yourself involved and volunteer, and then I got a good insight as to whether or not I wanted to be a vet, and I was loving what I was doing with volunteering. And so in secondary school, you've got to make all those choices around what subjects you want to pursue and to get to being a vet. And what happened was I wasn't strong in the science subjects, and bless Mum and Dad, they got me tutors and extra study and all that sort of stuff. And I did scrape through. I got into first year science. You have to do a year of science in Melbourne to then get into vet science. And I got to uni, and it was just this whole opening of sporting facilities available to you, and not a structured, you were an adult and you had to get yourself to university. So I think it was a bit overwhelming for me at the time, and so I didn't do very well at first year science.
Overwhelming in what way? What do you mean?
Just, I guess, because the secondary school that I was at, it was quite structured, and at 7 o'clock was in the morning was swim squad, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Then the class started at 9, and whereas at uni it's like, sure, you've got your timetable, but no one's there with a roll call saying to you whether or not you're going to turn up or not. So it was a bit unstructured, and I guess I wasn't used to that. And there was a lot going on, and I had to really knuckle down and get the marks that I needed in first year science, which were quite significant. And I was sort of beginning to, I guess, feel like with as many tutors I can get, I'm perhaps not. This is something that I perhaps can't achieve, and it reflected in my marks at the end of first year science, and I didn't get into vet science. And interestingly, that just started this, I guess, pool of me talking to myself that I am not good enough and I'm a bit of a failure. And I didn't announce that to everyone. It just built up over time in my head. And so then I went on to study another course, and I got through that, but I was still in the back of my mind quite disappointed that I hadn't got into vet science, because I'd been volunteering at a vet clinic since I was in year 8, and I was still working for the vet clinic at the time and doing vet nurse duties in a paid capacity, which was fantastic. But yeah, I guess in the back of my mind, vet nursing wasn't for me, and that wasn't to be disrespectful for any vet nurses. I think they do an incredible job, but in my mind, I really wanted to be a vet, and I'd failed at that. And so I sort of had my tail between my legs and pursued a couple of other courses, and then got into advertising. And I think it's sort of...
Can we just stop for one sec?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know me, I'm going to tap into something. So how old were you at that time around the vet science? Was it you're 19, 20, somewhere around that age? Like after?
Yeah, I was 18. Yeah, 18. I just, first year uni, I was 18 years of age. Yeah.
And then prior to that, because it's a big deal, right? Because you got into uni, right? Doing a science course, which you said it's not your strong suit. So that was a big achievement, right? Just getting in.
Yeah.
And then like leading up to that, even in that year, like you felt like you didn't achieve what you needed to achieve and so on. But like before getting into uni, did you have those thoughts of not feeling good enough, or you weren't as affected then, like as you were younger? It was more about like what you're talking about, like you felt like a failure because you didn't get the marks required in that first year. Was that a lead up as well to that, or do you think, or is it more of that experience?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think, I think the self-doubt crept in earlier, like I was really struggling because I had to take up those subjects in year 10. So year 10, 11 and 12, I had to do those science subjects. And I mean, sure, I know what a Bunsen burner is, but, I just couldn't work out the calculations. So, and then I think, getting the tutors to help me with, physics in particular, and I was struggling even with the tutors. So I think you're right. Yeah, I think there was that self-doubt starting to creep in, but I was so determined to get to be a vet. And so I was sort of juggling this half of me saying, what are you doing? Like, it'd be great if you got in.
Sort of thing, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's like, come on, I guess I was going through highs and lows. Like 1 minute I would understand something through the tutors or at school, and I'd be, okay, I've actually got this. And then, the next week it's just like failed the test completely. And what am I thinking? How am I going to do this? So yeah, I think the self-doubt did start to creep in, when I had to select those subjects to get into vet science. And you're right, like I was blown away when I scraped through and got a first round offer into Melbourne University into science.
Yeah, big win, right? Yay! Yeah. Right.
Yeah, well, I didn't think it was a big win because in my mind I was just like, well, you just scraped through. Now you've got to get these marks. And, I don't have those tutors. I'm now by myself in this big university out there in the big wide world. And, I think I distracted myself with all the sporting activities, and yes, I turned up to the lectures, but I think deep down I just had convinced myself that, yeah.
And in that time, like that year, you didn't reach out for help. Like you just felt like you had to do it on your own because now you had to be an adult and sort it out yourself, that kind of thing.
Pretty much, yeah. It's just like you've had all that background and support, secondary school hand-holding and tutoring, and now, you are an adult and you've got to make it on your own. So,
is that right?
Pretty much, yeah, absolutely. And I don't think I was prepared for that. And also, don't get me wrong, mum and dad, brilliant, just, will support you. But at the same time, it's like, you have to stand on your own 2 feet, and this is what you want. So you've got to work hard to get to that. And
that was your belief.
It didn't.
Right.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. Because as you know, my background as well, like around the same age and pursuing a tennis career and so on, it was like, okay, I've got to put my big girl pants on and I've got to do this alone. I've got to work hard. Do this alone and get no support, and because now I'm an adult, again, that was my thinking. So interesting for you to be thinking the same way. So then, okay, so what happened after that? So after your first year and beating yourself up and not thinking that you were enough and all of that kind of thing, what happened then?
So after that, what happened after that? So the vet that I was actually working for, the local vet, she was connected to Western Australia University and said if I wanted to, she'd get me into ag science over in Western Australia, and I could try and get in that back door that way, which was very generous of her to do that. But I think I'd convinced myself at this stage that I'm just going to struggle to continue continue to, make ends meet, as in from a study perspective, and get the marks that I was meant to get. And so I just thought, I'll move on and work out what the next thing is that I wanted to do. And I think, rightly or wrongly at the time, because I, just making the decisions as I was going, I think I didn't know what I wanted to do after that. I'd been since year 8, probably even earlier, like horse riding and stuff. Always wanted to be a vet, and then I'm just in this wild world now, and I have absolutely no idea what I wanted to do. So in the end, I did a nursing degree, which I didn't really enjoy, and then don't get me wrong, I respect all the nurses out there.
I'm nursing at uni as well. Don't worry, I understand.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. And then I think Mum and Dad were sort of like, okay, don't forget you're paying for all these HECS fees, and the more you study, the more this is adding up. So they're like, come on, like you love your sport, so why don't you mix your sport with? And there was this uni course which was a Bachelor of Business in Marketing and a Bachelor of Sports Admin. So I went and did that because I had some other subjects that I'd already completed. I got some credits for those subjects, and so a 4-year degree ended up being, I think, a 2.5-year degree or something like that, which was great. Like, I really enjoyed that, but it's, again, I guess in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I don't really know what I want to do with this. Like, I don't really know if this is what I really want. And then I got out of uni and I fell into ad agency world.
And just before you continue with the ad agency world, so then you felt lost, didn't you? Like, you had this big dream of what you wanted to do, and then in your mind you felt like that you couldn't achieve it because you didn't think you were good enough to achieve it, right? So you set yourself up for failure.
Completely.
Right?
And not only that, I think along the way, seeing, all these girlfriends that I went to secondary school with that have fallen into their career path that they had said that they wanted to do, and they've finished their university degrees and they're now traveling overseas, and or they've finished their uni and they've got a field of work placement that is what they wanted to do. And I just just looking around, just thinking, God, how did I get this so wrong? So that beating up process is just perfectly going on in the background and building up. So I got into advertising. Not excited about it, but again, just got to make the most of it, and maybe this is what I wanted, and fighting with myself constantly, just saying,
falling into it, like you say. It's like, well, okay, I've done this course, so this has come up, so I might as well do that because I've done it and I understand it, or whatever, right?
Yeah,
and I don't
absolutely.
know what else I'm going to do anyway because my dream is now over. All of that.
Yeah, all of that, and look, I embraced it. Don't get me wrong. It's, it has set me up for like a great foundation. Advertising, it's character building. It's a tough industry to work in. I got in when it was TV commercials and newspapers, and now it's digital and AI and all the rest of it. But I was fortunate in a sense that I had some great bosses that made it fun, and I started to think, oh, well, maybe I could make something of this. But I think in the background I was still a bit upset with myself for A, not achieving being a vet, but also B, I guess not having that confidence of this is exactly what I want to do, this is exactly who I want to be. And I still just I didn't have that. And I think that has played a part in, I guess, my decision-making process from then on, really.
In the sense of, like, what do you mean?
Well, like, just drifting, I think. Like,
and
not good enough, and so I'm stuck in advertising, so I'll just go and, I'll get the next job in advertising, and I'll just drift along. And so there was sort of no point that I sort of pulled myself up and wrote down things that I'm good at and what I like doing, and I just floated along. And look, I had some great times, and asked me if I was happy. Yeah, sure, I was happy in certain aspects, but I think niggling away at me was, I sort of hadn't made the decision that this was what I wanted. I just, like I said, I fell into it, and
you're just doing it because you knew what to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think that's where it sort of it all stemmed towards. So
yeah, okay, all right. So when we met last year at a golf tour, so for people that don't know, I do golf tours. I do teach golf. They probably know that because I talk about it a lot. But I did a golf tour up to Nelson Bay, and you came in. So if you don't mind, when you came in, she came in late, and I was doing a talk. I always do a talk at the beginning, and talk about the mindset side of things around golf and just attitudes and all of that sort of stuff for achievement and that. And then Caroline walks in late, and then she's got a hat pulled down, and it's like, just don't talk to me, and that kind of thing. And so what started to happen, because you came from, like I've obviously seen a big transformation in the last 12 months, and this is why we're here now talking about it.
Yeah.
But what happened for you in those 3 days? Because there was a lot of things that came out of it afterwards, and I just want you to share like what went on for you in that time.
Yes. Yeah. Well, apologies for being late.
You've never been late ever after that, though.
I know.
First there. Yeah.
Look, to be honest with you, I think that first day where I did come in late, and you just gave us your background. I do believe like things come to you for a reason. And that day, you said a few things that I think you mentioned about your background in the tennis and how you felt like a failure. And I was just like, someone else is on my page. And, I know it sounds so simple, but that's, I just needed someone else to be on my side, I guess. And without getting emotional about it,
okay.
I think that was just something that just, obviously a light bulb went off for me, which was fantastic. And I think it was just the right time. I think I needed to hear something like this. And I think throughout the weekend, actually, you shared other parts of yourself as well. Like, it wasn't the whole book, which I've got here. But, you just, I think just your nature, but also just, I think a few things that you shared that weekend, made me realise that other people, do go through this sort of process and do beat themselves up. But it's also, I guess, you came out with just those, even through the golf explanations as well, just, I guess, how you can become more aware of what's happening for you, which was coming through in the golf, which can apply to life. And
it's interesting, isn't it? Because as you know, and as you're very aware, is like golf is a big analogy on what goes on in your life, really, isn't it? It's how you handle situations, good or bad. It's how you talk to yourself in, whether you're having a good situation or a challenging situation and so on. And that was always the big message I wanted to get across. Like, okay, if you're going to beat yourself up, you're not going to hit a good ball, and you're going to stuff up.
Exactly.
Work, you know. And that comes up in life as well. And that was probably like what you're saying, that was the big thing, is like you're starting to be more aware of your self-talk. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. As I said, I think that initial introduction of yourself where you mentioned your side of this, your background and where you'd come from, and and also, I guess, to see you standing up there as well, like it made me realise, well, gosh, you have had a bit of I don't want to say failure, but you've come from not being able to deal with, not being able to deal or process how to then take yourself out of that situation. But then you are standing in front of us with the utmost confidence, gorgeous personality, and it just made me think, well, you've got out of it, then maybe there's some way I could work out, you know, how I could get out of this with the, you know, the self-doubt talk and just believing in myself a bit more, and being okay with your past mistakes. So, you know, I mean, as you said, like in golf, I mean, that just came up throughout the whole weekend, which was, you know, fantastic. You know, we're swinging air shots, but it's because, you know, your mind's completely distracted somewhere else, and it's all about that awareness. So
yeah, absolutely. And you know, I think that's probably another reason why, you know, we've become such great friends too, is that we've felt the same at the same ages as well. You know, like I went through
definitely
around the same age as you did with your uni and my tennis, and then felt lost afterwards, you know, and trying to find who I am and what I'm about and all that. And I think there's always that misconception through everything we see on the TV. Everything's all wonderful, or what we see on social media, it's all wonderful and glitzy and glamorous, but you don't, and you see all these successful people and you think, oh, I can never be like that, or I can, you know, they're just so much further ahead, and you don't really know their stories or anything like that. Right. You think that they've always just been super confident and all that kind of thing. And I think it's really important to show that, like, you know what, I felt the worst possible way about myself, and I'm going to share it with people because I know there's others out there feeling the same way. And if I can help in some way, go, you know what, you don't have to live your life like this. You can make changes, because I've done it. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. And that was, you know, obviously the big message that came, what I saw anyway, it came across to you in that weekend, especially then the influx of information I got from you afterwards. So if in that time, and you were like, in that weekend there was hope, then what happened? I gave you a book, and then I got an email like the day later after, with this, all your goals, and, you know, pages upon pages of information, and how inspired you felt because you'd read the book, and so what happened there? Like, what made you decide to read the book? Because I know I give out the book. Some people read it, some people don't, and so on. Look, I think I do think, like I said before, it's around that part whereby you know, I was obviously, I needed, for whatever reason, the universe has put me in contact with you, and you know, I was open to hearing what you had to say. And as I said, you know, obviously I heard you say about your past, and I'm seeing you standing up there, and I just thought, wow, like, you have given me hope. Like, if you can do it, you know, I must have believed, or I must have just felt in a really safe environment with you. And I had a great weekend. I really enjoyed the golf, but I really enjoyed the analogies that you gave around, you know, golf and life and awareness, and you handed out the book. Yeah,
everyone has to get a copy of this. And I think it should have been on Audible, so I could have listened to it on the way home. I would have already had the email written to you. But look, I mean, the beginning of the book is a little bit like the beginning of your conversation at the golf weekend, and it was, you know, that just raw honesty about, you know, you were lost, and you felt like a failure. So I'm reading. I think I stayed up till, I don't know, midnight or something, and I finished the book, and, you know, had a huge cry, and, you know, just sent you a message just saying thank you, really. And, you know, it's a year later, and look where we're at. So that was a shortened version of that. Yeah. But I think that, I mean, the book, well, I mean, the book, no, you go. Sorry.
Okay. So I did get this, and it must have been like the Monday or the Tuesday night. I got this huge email, like it was biggest email I think I've ever received, And I was so blown away, and I felt so emotional because I had had an impact on someone. Because I don't know, I don't know if I have an impact on people unless they tell me, right? I get excited and inspired about lots of things, and I like to share my inspiration and hope to motivate and inspire people to do things. But I don't know unless I get feedback. I know how I feel, but I don't necessarily know the impact I have on someone else. So I felt very emotional when I had seen that you had read the book, but also you're like, okay, yeah, this is the impact that the book's had on me, and these are my goals, and this is what I'm going to do. And you shared a lot about your past and how you felt, and then also what you wanted to create for your future, and it was incredibly moving. And so what we've then seen, what I've been witnessing over then from, what was it, March last year?
March last year, yeah.
So now we're into May of 2023 now, just over 12 months later. What's happened? Because there's been a massive transformation. There's no longer the hat being pulled down. Come on, the others, don't talk to me. You're in everybody's face. You share lots of love, and you're very happy. So what's happened? Tell us.
Yeah, look, I think I guess what I want to share is I think also because I was there with you at the golf, and you come on course with us and you walk around with us. I've read a lot of self-help books and watched a lot of YouTube videos, but that's through a lens or through a book. And like you mentioned earlier around, you see everyone else who's perfect and you want to be like that. But I think because I had that experience of meeting you and you're real, I think that just for me helped build, I guess, that foundation of trust of you've done, that's your past, and now look at where you are now. You're really confident. You're doing amazing things in the self-help area, and also giving so many of us so much more confidence. And I think and that just comes through in the book as well. So because I think I'd met you, and you were real, reading that book for me was it wasn't like a Tony Robbins book. I've never met him before. I've seen him online, and I believe what he does, absolutely. But when you just have that more personalized connection, I think it means, for me, it means so much more. And I think a lot of the stuff, and again, I think because I was ready for it as well. I think what you've said in the book was like a bit of a, that guide of how you can, come out of this. And so I've literally, I don't know how many times I've read the book. I don't know if you can see all my sticky notes. I've got notes throughout the book. But
I've yet to see that. I'll
bring it up. Yeah, I'm coming up. But because it's not really, I guess in some areas it is, but I don't really speak about, that I need help, and I don't know how to, set myself back on track. I read self-help books and all the rest of it, but I think there's something in the book, something about, you meeting you in that golf tour that just, I don't know, just resonated with me, and I felt like I could achieve it. And it's been a gradual process. Obviously we've had some catch-ups, which has been absolutely amazing. And, you're so generous with your time, and that I've been through a few hiccups. I had a work situation late last year that was a little bit tricky, and, it was interesting because it's all a part of your philosophy. But again, I think my thinking was, well, this is how I should react to it. And then just by talking with you, you've helped me get an outside perspective on that. And then it's helped me turn something around, which I couldn't sleep over, to getting a decent night's sleep and not making it into as big a deal as what I was making it out to be. And it's just those small things along the way that are very impactful, that have helped me get I guess, more clarity around my awareness. My self-talk has definitely improved. I'm really loving the fact that I say nice things to myself now rather than, beat myself up. Knowing that it's actually okay to put yourself first. Once upon a time I think that's really too selfish, but now it's actually important that I do, so that then, I can then help other people, my family and close friends. So just gradually, it's been this really beautiful journey of, realizing that the past, and it's okay, that I didn't become a vet, to gradually just, I guess, piecing together, like we've done a few things together, Tiff, around, actually visualizing what job I actually want. Like, what do I want my life to look like? And, having permission to be able to do that. I think late last year, I was made redundant, and, we had that great session around what does the ideal job look like? And so my initial one sentence was, I work in the city, this amount of money and this. And you're like, well, what else? What else does it look like? And so then I think it ended up being about a page of what I want, the next job to look like, and all other elements of my life as well. And it's, I think in the last 12 months, it has, like, hand on heart, honestly, just made a world of difference. And I'm, obviously had to go through what I went through in the past, but I just wish I had have found you and this book when I was going through the vet science side of things. But, it wasn't meant to be, but now we've met, and I feel like, I'm on this great path of, the journey that I want to take, and it's my decisions, and it's what I want. And it's a really, really lovely feeling. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. My pleasure. I'm very welcome. It's been wonderful to watch you go through this transformation. Interesting though, too, like what you're talking about, like we can't beat ourselves up, from what's happened in the past. The past is like decisions that we've made because that's where our mindset has been at that time. And, whether good or bad. And for us, it's felt bad, and we've never felt like we've been good enough for anything. And, what's the point? Because, what's the point of having a great life? It's not meant for us, and, all of that kind of thing. I know that my grandparents used to say it's not for the likes of us. And my mum was always like, well, why isn't it for us? Like, we're humans, we can do things. But I went through that same thing. Like, like I'm not good enough. I'm never going to be good enough. I'm never going to be successful. I'm never going to be able to, live the life that I want to live. Nothing's ever going to happen for me. And it makes it really hard, because when you then look at life like that, like getting up is just a struggle, isn't it?
Mm.
Trying to get through the day is just a struggle. And going, oh God, I've got to get up tomorrow and face that again, versus, living the life that we're living now, and where we're headed. And what we're doing is like, okay, we're creating what we want, versus thinking that we've just got to do that because that's the way you've got to do it, or that's the way it's got to be done because, you didn't achieve what you wanted to achieve when you're 18 or 20 or 25 or whatever. Life is over. Bad luck to you. Now you're just going to get old and die, and you've just got to go through actions, and that's it. And I think that's a big thing that people just don't understand, that like you can create your life, you can create your day, like what we talk about a lot. And you're the creator of your destiny. You're the master of your universe. No one else is. You have a choice what you want to do or be throughout the day.
Yeah.
Even if you're not doing what you ideally want to do right now. I'm not ideally doing what I want to do right now, but I'm on that of what I want to do. But it's making the most of it and enjoying that process and those lessons. It's that big thing, like those lessons that we've learned along the way, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
a lot of things about what not to do, right? And how and so in that it's given us that life experience in going, okay, I don't want to live my life like this anymore. I want to do this and this. And I see someone else do that. Well, why can't I do that? Oh, I can do that. If they can do it, I could do it. You know, they're real.
Yeah.
I'm real. Let's see how I can do that and how I can put that into place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think that's so true. And, you know, I think for a while there, as I was growing up and like after the vet science scenario, then something else happened that, you know, I beat myself up about. I failed at something else. And I just thought I could get a degree in being the best failure because I just passed that like with flying colours. But now, like, you know, what we've been working on and like you were saying around the setting your intentions for the day, I mean, that has also been quite transformational because, I'd get up early normally, but I'd get out and, you know, go for a run and beat myself up if I hadn't done the 5Ks because I was so exhausted. And so, again, I was just going on that path of I didn't achieve that. I didn't achieve that. I didn't achieve that. Now I'm just giving myself permission. Like I do set my intentions for the day early on in the morning. I meditate. I'll do my exercise. And, you know, I'm okay if I don't do 5Ks in my run. If I've just walked for 3Ks, but it's been a beautiful morning and I've thought about something creative that I wanted to do or come up with some other idea. It's nice to now actually be more grateful for that rather than coming back home going, well, now tomorrow you've got to...
Okay, go ahead. What else were you saying?
So I think, you know, now with
setting
this
intentions
whole
and building
setting
momentum.
intentions. Yeah, absolutely. I think, it's just been a huge part of this transformation of, you know, setting the daily intentions and writing in my journal at the end of the day of what I've achieved and what I'm grateful for. And, it's feels like it's just a part of me now for doing this. And I think that's really helping towards, you know, me being kinder to myself as well along the way and also just believing more in myself. And, you know, I think the future for me is looking really bright because I feel more confident in who I am and even if I don't make the 5K run, I'm okay with that. And, you know, I think that's just been a huge game changer for me with those intentions and just, believing more in myself and just building that confidence.
So by you creating your day, which is really what you're doing, isn't it? Like you're setting your intentions for the day. You're now taking charge of what you want your day to look like and to be, thinking, I've just got to get up and get out of bed and then I've got to go and work and then I've got to do all of that. I've got to work really, really hard all day till I'm so exhausted and I've got no energy left to go and do all the things that I love to do. And then I'll just do that and then one day I'll be able to focus on the things that I really would like to focus on. But that's years down the track because I'm nowhere near where I want to be. Your approach now is very different, isn't it? It's okay, I'm set. And I go and do my walk or my run or whatever it is that I want to do in the morning, and then what else? What's your day look like at the moment? Because I know that you've got a lot of things going on. So share.
Yeah. So absolutely. I think that's a critical point around, you know, prior versus now. Like prior, just roll out of bed early, you know, go for the run, do the exercise tick, work all day, get home late from work, and then look at the to-do list and think, well, I haven't achieved anything. And then 12 months later, I'd be like, well, you haven't achieved anything, so you're a failure. And whereas now it's like set the intentions for the day, meditate and visualize on something that I want to achieve. And then I've set the day up basically around helping out a company at the moment with their social media. I'm also trying to build up a
You're exceptional at what you do. Just so that you
Thanks.
know.
Thanks, Tiff. Thanks. And then, building up a recruitment business as well. And so trying to find candidates, but also sourcing leads through my network. So throughout the day, I've, I guess, put together, right, this morning I'm going to work on X, Y, and Z. And then at lunchtime, I really love my swimming. And it's great to get back into that. I broke my shoulder in COVID, so I'm beside myself with happiness that I'm back in the swimming pool. So there's a squad session that's Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at lunchtime. And to be able to make it to that is just incredible. I used to make it to the nighttime swim squad at like 7 p.m. just before the pool closed. And I was like, how did people manage to swim during the day? But I realise now because they've created the life that they want to create, and that's what I'm trying to achieve for myself. So I love my lunchtime swims, and then when I get home again, I'm sourcing candidates, sourcing some ideas around a couple of other things that I want to achieve as well. And then at the end of the evening, nothing better than writing in my journal about what I've learned for the day, or some wins, or a great conversation that I've had with, yourself or whoever it is. And just, it's a feel good journal as well. It's some things that I want to achieve perhaps. And I do that on a daily basis. And I don't know if I can segue into your latest video, which has been, again, another game changer in the sense of, once upon a time I'd go through the whole of the 12 months. You set your goals at New Year's Day and you'd be like, right, bang, we're off, we're doing everything. And then come end of Feb, I've forgotten what I wanted to achieve and I feel like I haven't achieved a thing. So your latest video has just helped me completely with that reset. So, every month it was to set up, I think it was April that you had that out, and it's to set for the next 3 months, but then you check in with yourself at the end of the month for the next month and see what you've achieved and see what things, you need to work on or work around so that you can achieve those other elements. And that's just been a huge game changer for me because, I am really determined to, move forward with the life that I would like to create, and doing these things daily, but also checking in with yourself monthly is just been, a huge game changer for me. So really excited.
Yeah, because it's easy to set goals, isn't it? It's easy to have people set New Year's resolutions, or they'll set goals like yourself. I was used to do that, set goals and then just never achieve them. And, people would say, well, goals don't work. And I'm like, yeah, they don't, because I don't achieve them and all of that kind of thing. But it's the other thing too, by doing it monthly, like what you've seen, especially over the last, 2 months of what I've created. Because again, I want goal setting to be easy and achievable. Because we want to be able to achieve things. There's no point setting a goal if it's like way over there. We never think we can reach it anyway, because we won't.
Yeah,
that's what we think.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if we break it down and we have month by month, and some of the things might be relevant in that month that you have achieved, and some of the goals that you've set in that month you may not be ready for yet, even though you'd like to achieve it. But it's okay if you haven't done it yet, and it's like, well, that's not as important as I thought it was going to be during this time because I was focused on something else. But I can do that next month, or I can do that in 3 months' time, and I can put that on the back burner, but I'm more aware now. And the thing is, like, you've set your goals for the month, then you have a look at the end of the month and you go, okay, well, that's worked, that hasn't, and that didn't work for whatever the reason was. But that's okay because I was focused on getting this right, and then if I get this right, then I can get that right. Or that's not as relevant as it was, and I've evolved more in the last 4 weeks than I was weeks before. And that's the other thing too, isn't it? It's like I look at, like, as you know, sport, life, analogies. Sport is always a work in progress. So it doesn't matter what sport you play, golf, tennis, darts, whatever. It's always a work in progress in the sense of improvement or awarenesses or discovering things that work, discovering things that don't work, discovering what's going on with your mindset in that moment.
Yeah.
And so that's what goals are like too, and that's what life is like. It's a work in progress. So what we want to identify is what's working well, what's not working well, why isn't it working well, why is it working great, and then let's make things keep going if it's going great, because we always want to feel good every day. I mean, I know that's a big goal, to feel good every day now rather than beating yourself up. I'm the same. And then you know, and then just, you know, you just keep working at it, and that's what you're doing. Like even you're journaling every day now, but you're doing it for things that you've learnt, things that, you know, good or bad, right? And it's
absolutely
being aware so that you can then go, okay, well, I don't want to be like this, I want to be like that, and if I hold on to that, I'm not going to get to that, so I'm going to let that go, and then I'm going to, you know, keep moving in this because this is where I'm headed. But it's, you know, it's a journey, isn't it? I mean, people don't like to hear it. But they want to hear like, okay, this is the destination I want to get to, and that's it. I don't want to go through the journey to get there, but it's the journey that creates that result. Anyways.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? It's the steps that you got to do to create a good golf shot or a good tennis serve or whatever. Then you've got to do those steps to get the result that you want. And so what you're discovering is, this is what I want, and now I'm on this journey, you know, and you do have highs and lows. We all have that, right? Highs, lows, frustrations, excitement, and everything else in between. But you're much more aware of what you want to do and where you want to go and bonding to everything now, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think your sporting analogy is on the money. You know, I mean, you look at a Roger Federer and you see what an amazing tennis champion he is, but you don't see the behind the scenes or understand what journey it was that got him there. And it's, you know, that those daily practices that he's been doing. And I think for me, you know, I want to incorporate this on a daily basis into my journey, because, you know, I'm excited for my future around what I want to achieve. And it's just helping me become more aware around, you know, what is working, what's not working, the language I use towards myself, you know, the circle of influence of people that I, you know, hang out with. You know, it's definitely, you know, the awareness is for me at the moment the foundation. It's just, okay, something goes wrong, I'm more aware of it rather than being reactive towards it. And I think that's just been a huge part of the last 12 months with the way that I've dealt with things. And I feel like it's definitely making me a better person. So great. It's exciting.
I'm seeing it month by month, day by day. But also your network of people has changed, hasn't it? Like we look back at where you were 12 months ago and the situations that you had put yourself in through the influences of that circle of people that you were with versus, you know, the circle of people that you're now surrounding yourself with. Again, like that's a change, isn't it? Like there's I think Tony Robbins' mentor, he's not coming to my mind at the moment, but he always said you're the average of the 5 people that you spend time with, right? So you're going to be how they are and how they behave. So what's happened to you, like from a you know, that circle of influence as such, from just before the golf tour to where you're at now?
Yeah. Look, I think that's been probably a challenging area for me, because I just want to help everyone. And I think sometimes that can be to my detriment. And I mean, there's no right or wrong for this, but for me, I think I recognized, you know, through some discussions that you and I had early on, that it's actually okay to, I guess, I don't know what the right word is to say, but to, I guess, like have an arm's length transaction with people that perhaps aren't now on your journey. So they're still there. And I think that's important for me, but it's how I then spend my time with those relationships. And I think that was a critical part, instead of trying to help everyone that rightly or wrongly. For me, it was I've been recognizing that it's actually taking a lot away from me. It can be quite draining sometimes, some relationships, and just to be more aware of that, and I guess be in control of when I do catch up with certain relationships, that I'm in control of that. So maybe it's, we go for a walk, or we go for breakfast, or I limit the time on a phone conversation with someone, and I think that's definitely helped me. I don't feel guilty about it either. I think it's just been, it's a process that I have to go through, and the circle of influence that I've now got in the inner team has made a huge difference in, I guess, the belief in myself, how everyone speaks to each other, the support. I think it's definitely a factor, and I think, I'm glad I've recognised it now, and I also have come to terms with that it is actually okay to still have those relationships in the background, but it's how I deal with those, and being more in control with, I guess, the time that's spent in those areas that perhaps aren't helping me move forward.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it's had something that came to mind, but it's okay, isn't it? It's okay to be where you're at, and it doesn't matter how old you are, right? You can still make changes. Like, people write themselves off, like we write ourselves off with, the ripe old age of 19 and 20. And, like, you're not yet 50. I'm over 50. But, realizing that, like, it doesn't matter how old you are. If you want something, or if you want to achieve something, or you feel inspired by something, it doesn't matter how old you are. You can just go for it,
Yeah, absolutely.
And nothing can hold you back, because, it's your life. You want to live the life that you want to live and enjoy your day. I mean, to me, my biggest goal every day, I was playing golf with a friend yesterday, and I said to her, my biggest goal every day is just to feel good. All I want to do is feel good, have a happy husband, have a happy life, have happy cats, and be happy. That's all I want. And I mean, that's what it's about, isn't it? It's creating the life
absolutely.
and being happy about it. And it's
absolutely. It's funny you mentioned that about it doesn't matter where you're at in life, what age. I read this wonderful book a number of years ago. I can't think of the name of it, but I'll find it and I'll send it to you. But it was this lovely elderly gentleman. I think he was 90, and he never learned how to read or write. And he was at home, and someone, a door-to-door salesman, popped a leaflet under his door, and it was at the local community centre to go and learn how to read and write. So he took himself down there, and he ended up writing the book that I read. And I remember thinking at the time, well, if he can do it, I can achieve anything. But I didn't have, I guess, not the foundation, but I didn't have the right support to help me understand how to get on my journey like he did. And I think, since meeting you, I feel like I've got the right tools now to help me achieve what I want to achieve. And I think the sky's the limit, and it's a really exciting time. Absolutely.
It's exciting watching it. Yeah. So what and you gave me this idea, is that we're actually going to check in with you now every 3 months, aren't we? So and see where you're at. So what I'd like you to do, because I know that you, with your lifestyle that you've got now, you've got to go and do your swimming. Could you just quickly share what your goals are for these 3 months, so April through to June? And then what we will do is then we're going to check in with you early July and see where you're at and what's happened and moving forward, because I think it's really good to share where you've come from, where you're headed, and we're part of the journey with you. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, without boring everyone to tears, I've got my setting my intentions and my goal setting, and mine's actually broken down into career, health and nutrition, life, and mindset. And some people could argue that maybe mindset falls into health and nutrition, but we can argue about that later on. But for me at the moment, what I'm really working on is, from a career perspective, I'm really trying to build up my recruitment business and find great candidates, but also bring in some new leads to help other companies with their recruitment. I do need a side job at the moment, so I am looking for that ideal side gig that will help pay the bills as an interim solution, and I've written down what that looks like. And then also I've just a number of years ago I found a passion, which was nice that I actually found it myself, in the stock market. And so I've been trying to learn how to trade in the stock market. So that's been a bit of a passion and lifelong journey for me. So with setting these intentions on a monthly, I really want to get back into focusing on that. And then from a health and nutrition perspective, just looking after, what I'm putting in my mouth, fueling my body. And then from a health perspective, it's to get to my swim squad. It's to turn up to run squad training. And then I think just from a life perspective, it's more around, again, just surrounding myself with like-minded people. A big key for me to work on is my sleep patterns. I'm burn the candle both ends at the moment, and I really want to try and work on that because, as we've discussed, it's has a huge influence on my day. And if I go to bed far too late and wake up really early, my day just, if you have a look at the journal, it's pretty much blank. So and then mindset, I really want to continue to work on my mindset, and that's around setting my intentions, meditating, and definitely being more aware around the way that I speak and treat myself, and how I'm spoken to and treated by others as well. So that's a nutshell. Anyway, there's quite a few more on there, but
yeah, okay. So we're going to hold you to that, because we're going to check in with you early July. And we're going to see where you're at and what your discoveries were, and you achieved what you wanted to achieve, or there was other things that got in the way, or you decided to go on a different path or whatever. We're going to witness your transformation over
love it.
However long it takes, doesn't matter. We could do it, right? So it's an exciting journey.
I'm your content.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to hold you to that. But it'd be really lovely to see that, because again, what you'll be doing then is giving other people hope as well. If okay, I've been in that situation, this is what Caroline's now doing, this is what she's done, and now I can do this too. And I think that's really powerful. And as you know, I like magic, so we're creating something from nothing, and you're creating something from nothing, and creating the dreams that you want to create. So it's really
it's very exciting, and I can't thank you enough. I owe you my life. So I am beyond grateful. So can't thank you enough.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So thanks, Caroline, for talking with me today and sharing your story, and we look forward to further developments.
Checking in.
And checking in. Absolutely. Thank you.
Love it. Thank you so much for having me. It's great to chat to you as always.
Pleasure. Okay. See you later.
See you. Bye. Enjoy your day.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.
So I hope you really enjoyed the interview that we had with Caroline. This is going to be obviously the first of many interviews that we'll be doing with her, because we're going to be checking in with her every 3 months and seeing where she's at. And I think it's a really good way to see that, you know, it's okay to be where you're at. It's okay to, you know, if you're having some struggles in whatever's going on in your life, it doesn't have to stay like that. You know, you can get the things out of your life that you want to. And there's just, you know, there's tools and techniques and strategies and, you know, having that support and help from others, that like this journey doesn't have to be on your own. Just because you're an adult now doesn't mean that you have to do it alone. It's being resourceful and bringing in the right people into your life that's actually going to really help you accomplish whatever it is that you want to accomplish. And the big thing, like I said, you know, in the interview, it's like just feeling good. We just want you to feel good every day. And by feeling good, then all these great things are going to happen for you. So I hope you really enjoyed today's interview. We've been wanting to do this for a long time. I think the time's right now is sharing Caroline's story. And yeah, if you really enjoyed this episode, I'd love it if you could share with me what you like best about what you heard today. That'd be absolutely awesome. And get out there, dream big, believe in you, go after your dreams. Look forward to seeing you real soon. Take care. Bye for now. See ya.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why they say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.